Hey guys, what's up? Matt here from Loon Outdoors, and today we have a FW580 in the vise, and that means we're going to be tying a Carey special. This is a longer shank nymph hook, downturned eye. I'm going to be utilizing some .15 wire, and my favorite, Vivas 50D. So the Carey special is kind of an old school pattern. It's one that's dear to my heart. Catches steelhead, trout. Pretty much it's one of those anything that swims flies. It represents probably not much, but I think it works well in lakes for like a dragonfly nymph, on steelhead rivers as a something, and trout just seem to really dig it. So what I'm doing is a long series of turns, and then I'm back wrapping to create weight and a taper inside of this body using that .15 non-lead wire. And you can see I'm just kind of manipulating my tag ends into place. I do use the tip of my fingernails just to kind of smear that lead out, or non-lead wire out just a bit. So with this, I'm going to do my little trick where I kind of create this non-lead sandwich, wrap back and forth, and, secure that in place. And with the 50D, you can see something flies off the screen there, and that's actually me cutting the tag of the non-lead wire using 50D. So it is pretty strong thread. Next up, we're going to take just a bit of Pheasant Rump. So I'm actually using Pheasant Rump in this fly instead of standard pheasant tail. It's still going to live with inside. I did a little series that'll pop up in a bit. It's just battle pheasant tail. It's just battle pheasant. It's like flies that you can tie with pheasant, since we all have it at our vise. Again, try to have some even tips. Not really going to care. I like the unevenness. I like the little subtle disarray of the way that they lay out when they're not perfect, personally. So I'm going to take some French oval tinsel. This happens to be a size large. You can use a smaller or a medium. It's just a big gold rib. You could even use uni wire in this application if you don't have French tinsel. Being a steelhead tire, I have pretty much every flavor that I can find. And I like on a lot of flies, I don't go all the way back to the tail. I want to leave room for those first wraps to be laid down behind this. Next up, I'm going to bring in some 5 to 7 inch hairline Peacock Herl. I like that long Peacock Herl. It allows me to do bigger flies like this without having to use multiple strands and sections. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to, you can see this is right where the taper begins. So I'm going to begin by lashing this down and going back forward. And this is going to end right up in the front. So you can see with like 3, 4, 5 strands, you're getting a really good looking body. And this is kind of cool because we're using two like UV reflective reactive materials here. So there's a lot going on using all naturals. And that's something that I really, really enjoy. Peacock is just, and pheasant just seems to be two of those materials that no matter what swims, eats it. So you can see we have this really cool body. We're going to go ahead and do some counter ribbing here. You can omit the counter rib, or like I said, a more dull color, but I definitely dig the way this is looking at this moment in time. So I'll start and secure down the oval tinsel, and we're going to be getting ready to work into our headspace here. So this is basically going to be a giant, cool, soft hackle, and we're going to use Pheasant Rump for this. The reason that is, it's a great flowy fiber. It moves super well in the water, and it just creates a great amount of movement. So you can creep this along the bottom, make it look like a dragonfly nymph, like I said, on like a slime line. You can swing it for steelhead and trout in various sizes. It just gets the job done. It's one of those patterns that you probably look at in the fly shop. It doesn't have a ton of bin appeal, but to a fish, it's basically like a giant bag of jelly beans. So I tied the tip back and forth, secured it in place. I'm going to go ahead and fold the hackle much like you would anything. And I go traditional on these. I tie big old fat bulbous old school heads on them, even though I could probably finish this fly with like a single wrap of this 50D and it would look really, really sharp. So next up, like I said, I'm going to build an old school fly style head on this. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. You can do whatever you want, but it's just something I dig. It's one of the easiest steelhead flies to tie. Peacock comes in 500 different colors nowadays, and speckled, UV reactive, Ninja Turtle, or whatever you want. So it's something that you can adapt this fly into so many cool, fun situations. Since I do tie with white thread, I am going to Copic this and then coat with some flow. And I'm kind of going for more of that old school, high gloss bulbous head, using some thin. If you wanted to dull it down a bit and make it smaller, use some flow. I feel like this also gets into the base of the barbules of the pheasant and really makes a cool stabilized effect. Anyways, guys, that's the Carey special. Hope you guys enjoy it. Try it in different sizes and have some fun. Thanks for watching.